right, good morning. We are here at Kilauea Visitor Center. This is the parking lot. This is the entrance. This is the first stop when you get inside Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. It is the information center. It's where you would probably go if you wanted to get a good idea of what is happening. It's all kinds of current information about the lava, maps from the USGS, maps of the area, the pay box for people who are not fortunate enough to get here late enough when the pay stations are open, bathrooms, water filling station for those going on hikes, and just general hangout area. This right here is the map.
This is called the Ola tract. It was given to the Park Service. It's 10,000 acres of pristine forest here in this section here. Let me explain the island to you.
Yes.
The island of Hawaii is built by 5 volcanoes. Kohala, the last eruption. Refresh my memory. The last eruption was about 60,000 years ago. And it's already being eroded by rains and river. 60,000 years ago, Mauna Kea. The last eruption was about 4,000 years ago. And how we know that is the benefit. The glaciers on top of Mauna Kea that were there in the Ice Age. The glaciers, the cinder cones cover some of the glacial moraines on Mauna Kea summit. Last year or 2 years ago, they drilled into the mountain looking for water, and they hit boiling water deep in the mountain. So the chamber is still active. Well, it's still hot, but there's no indication of any seismicity except normal subsidence due to the volcano. So about 4,000 years. The next one. Hualalai means protected. Hualalai protects Kona from the eruptions of Mauna Loa. They go around the volcano, around Hualalai to the ocean. The 1859 lava flow down to Kilauea Bay came from Waikir and Mauna Loa, but it was pushed aside from Kailua or Kona by Hualalai. The most recent eruptions here are 1800 and 1801. 1800 was up here, 1801 is down here at Kilauea. Many years ago, we put in 2 seismographs, tiltmeters up here. There are no thermal anomalies on Hualalai. It's dormant. We drilled once up here, and there was no evidence of any heat. So, let's get to the big volcano. Mauna Loa. Mauna Loa means long mountain. Mauna Loa is a massive volcano. It's the largest volcano in the earth and the largest single mountain volcano in the world. Mauna Loa's height from the sea level to the top. When we did our radar and geometer work on it, Mauna Loa was almost 14,000 feet from the ocean to the summit. But the mountain is so big, and we're sitting on a plastic plate, that Mauna Loa has sunk into the earth. And its true height from its base is about 57,000 feet tall, deep in the ocean, sinking down.
So that's why it's not like that.
Now the current seismic hotspot is an area about out of here where there's a series of quakes going on today. And that comes and goes. Pre-eruption 1975 and 1984, this same area had a flurry or up to almost a swarming area of earthquakes in the same spot. Now they're back. But nobody knows what it means yet. Mauna Loa is inflating. If you were to be here, if you were to be right out here at the summit of Kilauea, looking straight across at Mauna Loa, the magma chamber is thought to be straight into the volcano. A level plane. Looking from here up straight into Mauna Loa would be the magma chamber. The last two eruptions were 1975 at the summit and the Northeast Rift, and 1984. Again from the summit and the Northeast Rift. You can see the lava flow dated down here, the gray one.
Oh, yeah.
And that flow was heading towards Hilo. And it's assumed that if the rivers of lava had not broken their levees on the sides and bled off the lava flows, it probably would have gone right through Hilo town into the harbor. But nobody knows.
Lucky.
Yeah, so that's why.
It would have been bad.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to Kilauea.
That's this volcano, right?
Right, this is Kilauea.
So we are here. So you worked here at this volcano, correct?
Yeah, I worked in the park, I worked at the observatory and the national park for 52 years total.
Oh.
I started working at the observatory in 1965. And in those days, instrumentation was not like it is today.
Yeah.
So everything was hands-on.
Yeah.
Back in 1965, it was thought that Kilauea had only one magma chamber out here, southwest area of the summit, in a place called Sandspit.
Okay.
And about a mile and a half down is the presumed magma chamber. Now it's thought that Kilauea summit may have two magma chambers, an upper and a lower, but it's still being studied in different theories. Like the eruption in Kilauea in 1959 was probably thought to not have been fed by the magma chamber here, but a magma chamber that may be in this area, nearer to Kilauea.
What made them think that?
Partially seismic waves, earthquake, have a hard time going through through magma. So they could able to place seismometers around the summit and map the caldera or magma chambers. But as instrumentation technology gets better and better, they're finding out more ways to map the volcano.
Gotcha.
Okay, Mauna Loa has two rift zones, the Northeast Rift, Southwest Rift. Kilauea also has two rift zones,
Yeah.
the Southwest Rift and the East Rift. What is different about, like, during the eruption down here in Mauna Loa in 1969, what catches your eye here that we mapped,
Craters.
when we mapped, that causes so much activity down here, is the fact that the rift zone bends.
Oh.
It's very rare to find a rift zone, a magnetic rift zone, that bends like this. Hence it becomes a weak area. And a lot of eruptions down here, and a lot of earthquakes form. So what's different here is and we'll get to the eruption that just happened, but Kilauea has numerous huge fault zones. This is the great Elena fault system down here, and the Hawaii fault system. Okay? Kilauea, right about here, Kilauea is being split in two, slowly, millimeter by millimeter. And why is that? Take a guess.
Seismic activity?
It causes seismic.
Oops. No, it's okay.
Down here, as magma is being injected into the rift zone, what does it have to do? Make it travel away. It has to split and push aside the volcano, or split it. So Kilauea is being split here slowly, and Kilauea's south flank moving southward by two reasons: by magnetic intrusion into the rift zone, and also gravity. Gravity is pulling the volcano apart. We installed many benchmarks around here for leveling and measuring the volcano movement. Okay. All was the last eruption that lasted over 30 years that just stopped.
Yeah.
The new eruption was down here in Leilani, 2018. All the gray here.
So that's what caused the summit to drain?
The summit drained and summit collapsed. because it lost its support of the magma chamber draining, and the magma chamber still has not inflated yet, or is not inflating. It goes up and down, the tilt meters, but magma is still running down the rift. Past Pu'u'o, now it's thought that between 130 and Pu'u'o is when the magma is going.
It's just not coming above the ground.
There's no lava above the ground. And there may not be for decades. Who knows? Kilauea is a young volcano. It's only 600,000 years old.
That's young.
It's very young. For a volcano, very young. So, but also Kilauea, like Mauna Loa, it's a big volcano. It's from sea level, from the sea floor to the sea level is 18,000 feet. So Kilauea is already 22,000 feet tall. From 18,000 feet to the ocean floor to the surface, and then 4,000 feet up to here, near the summit. So Kilauea, now people have asked if Kilauea and Mauna Loa erupt at the same time, and they have. 1984, during Pu'u'o's eruption, Kilauea also began erupting. Two different lavas.
Which one erupted this year?
Kilauea down here, Leilani. Pu'u'o was erupting, but it stopped.
Where's Kona?
Kona's over there.
Opposite side of the
So it's still active, yeah?
Well, nothing's seismically it's active. Eruptive-wise, it's not active.
Nothing's
Nothing's coming out right now. But it is, the magma is coming up to the magma chamber on Kilauea's south area, South Caldera, but it's not inflating this magma chamber. It's going down the rift. So between Pu'u'o and Highway 130, it's feeding into the system.
We're from Colorado, so this all new.
I worked
can
here for 52 years, so the question's not question. Yes.
Who was the active flow that took out all the subdivisions?
Right here.
That was it.
Leilani Estates.
So it erupted here in
No. It went down through the system.
Underground.
Underground.
Okay.
So Pu'u'o drained away, and the magma chamber under Kilauea drained away, causing the volcano to collapse, which is an unprecedented collapse. You can see it across the street.
Yes. Yeah.
So all the magma, not all of it, but a lot of the magma drained out of the caldera, the Summit Reservoir, and drained out of Pu'u'o, maybe some kind of reservoir. And a lot of it went down to Leilani. We call it Leilani because it's buried in subdivision. It may change names later on.
We just have forest fires.
Well, we have this eruption was unprecedented. They put out an estimated 950 million cubic meters of molten rock.
Into the ocean too, right? All into the ocean.
So all the subdivision down here, Leilani Estates, got buried. A lot of it did, and almost all of the Kapoho beach lots was buried. About 900 homes got buried down there. And new land was formed along the ocean.
I stayed there about like 4 years ago. Now I cannot see anymore.
There's nothing there. It never existed. There's nothing left of Kapoho.
The Ahalanui hot pond is gone.
Oh, I was there like 4 years ago.
Well, I'm glad you got there because you would not even know.
What it is? Huh?
Nothing, just a big lava. It's very sad, but you know, the volcano's very young. Kilauea has a long time to go.
That's sad.
Starting over again.
Do you think Leilani's gonna have another push up anywhere? Any pictures? Anything?
There's still tremor, the lava still moving.
You can see stuff coming out of the pool, right?
Just right now, out of Pu'u'o, just gas and steam. It's not to say the lake won't come back.
What would make the lake come back?
During the Mauna Ula eruption in 1969, it stopped for 4 months. And then the lava lake reappeared for 4 years. So anything's possible. Now, the next volcano,
Yeah.
Loihi, up here.
Yeah.
Loihi Seamount. Currently on Loihi's southeast rift about here, there's a lot of earthquakes going on. Loihi is a very active blue volcano. It's already 14,000 feet tall.
When do they think it's gonna come to the surface?
About 10,000 years.
We're not gonna see it.
You won't, my lifetime.
Oh,
Next lifetime.
your next life. You'll live
But
there.
this, because we're moving north for about 3 inches a year. We're moving toward Alaska. Up the island of the system. We're on a
Slowly, yeah.
hot spot. Everything here is plastic. The big collapse here. All I know now is now about 1,600 feet. The whole floor, everything collapsed.
And that's why we don't see the glow anymore.
No more glow, no more lava.
And when in 2008 it opened, what caused that? Or
The lava lake here?
yeah, because we go out there and just see nothing. It was
nothing.
exactly like it is now. And then all of a sudden in 2008 we came back.
Yeah,
here.
Lava Lake showed up on the east side of Hawaii. It lasted for what, 12,
Yeah,
10 years?
10 years.
And now that's gone. When the lava began to drain away out of here, the lava lake went down about 10 meters a day and just disappeared. And then finally Hawaii had a small explosion. But it drained. They estimate the volume of collapse here is 950 million cubic meters of rock disappeared out of it and collapsed into the volcano, which matches more or less the volume of lava that came out down here. So this just collapsed into the caldera, into the magma chamber area. But a lot of the magma that came out at Leilani had been lava that was stored in the ground here.
So the lava from up here pushed it down.
Right. Because they estimate only 3% in chemistry of 3% of the lava that was magma that was stored here showed up out here. The lava that came out here was 1955 lava, 1840 lava stored in the system. Now I remember the first week of the activity, the first 2 weeks, we had a 6.9 earthquake,
Yeah.
which is offshore. And what might that have caused? Yes.
Collapse.
Kilauea, remember that we talked about the south flank?
Yeah.
Kilauea's south flank moved southward about 2 meters.
In one instant.
So what it did is opened up the conduit system. So all the lava, now the magma that came out of the reservoir here is thought to have poured into the magma chip, into the conduit system, and stored in the rib. Because only 3% of the magma stored here came out of Leilani.
And that continues to be the only place inflating right now.
So it's inflating down here.
She's gonna make herself known in the forest again.
When you explode, would you think? Where might you think it would pop up? Or see it
I mean,
right
there are only two rifts, the east rift and southwest rift. For now, everything's going this way. That's not to say something can happen down here.
If there was like a blockage, would it just push back up and then we'd get from up here?
That's magma all sea.
The ocean? Downhill?
The easiest path. Like any other liquid. So it's a really active rift. And it's super active because we have this dogleg turn here, which is rare for a magmatic rift zone to turn. Usually it's straight like the southwest rift. But it makes a big bend here. And that's why there are a lot of eruptions and earthquake swarms.
It gets blocked up in there more often.
It's hard to turn. It puts pressure on the rift.
Makes sense.
But, you know, it's a young volcano and it's got a long way to go to get it on growing.
Unreal. Thanks, man. This is a great spot to start your adventure in the national park. Kilauea Visitor Center. Come on down, check her out.